So let's talk about one of the most popular backyard chickens out there, the big, fluffy, super friendly Buff Orpington. Everybody seems to love them, but the big question is, are they actually the right chicken for your backyard? Let's dig in and find out. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The second you hear golden retriever, you think loyal, good with kids, just an all-around great family pet. And that is exactly the reputation the Buff Orpington has earned. It's really the perfect way to kick off this whole deep dive.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with that famous golden retriever personality, then get into the practical stuff like eggs and the trade-offs that come with the breed. After that, a full care guide, and then the big verdict to help you decide. And we'll even finish up with their pretty cool origin story. So first things first, how does a chicken earn a nickname like the golden retriever? Well, it really all boils down to one single thing: their incredibly mellow personality. I mean, these birds are famously calm and just so sweet-natured. We're not just talking about a chicken that puts up with being handled. They often seem to actually enjoy it. They'll follow you around the garden like a little puppy, which makes them an absolute dream for families with kids, or really anyone who's new to chickens and wants a bird that's more of a pet. Okay, so we've established they have an A+ personality. But let's be real, most of us are getting chickens for the eggs, right? So let's see how their egg-laying ability stacks up next to that super charming personality. A huge part of their personality is that they tend to go broody. This is when a hormonal switch flips and all they want to do is sit on a clutch of eggs and hatch some chicks. Now, if you want to raise your own baby chicks, you couldn't ask for a better mama hen. Just be aware, when a hen is broody, she stops laying eggs for that period. And what about the eggs themselves? Well, you can expect somewhere between 200 and 250 beautiful, large, light brown eggs every year. That works out to a solid 4 or 5 eggs a week. Now, are they the most productive chickens on the planet? No. A breed like a Leghorn would lay more. But they are incredibly reliable and are known for laying pretty consistently, even through the winter. All right, so we've talked about all the great stuff, but no breed is perfect. And if you're going to make a good decision, you have to understand the trade-offs that come with all that beautiful fluff. The first thing you'll notice about an Orpington is they are big chickens. Seriously, a hen can easily weigh 8 to 10 pounds. They look like these giant, fluffy, waddling teddy bears. And that impressive size, well, it's pretty much the root cause of all the trade-offs we're about to get into, from what they eat to how they handle the weather. See, all those fluffy feathers are a direct result of their English heritage, which means they are built for the cold. On the one hand, those dense feathers and their relatively small combs are fantastic insulation against the cold. It makes them much less likely to get frostbite. But, and this is a big but, that same build makes them pretty terrible in the heat. They are very prone to heat stress, and during a really bad heat wave, they might just stop laying eggs altogether. And the other big thing to think about is their appetite. It's simple, really. A bigger bird needs more fuel. An Orpington is going to eat a lot more food than a smaller, more efficient breed, all while producing fewer eggs. So if you're trying to keep that feed bill as low as possible, this is a really important thing to consider. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. If you do decide to get an Orpington, what does it actually take to keep them happy and healthy? Let's walk through it. Because they're such large birds, a lot of experienced keepers suggest a feed with higher protein content. This helps support healthy muscle growth. Here's a pretty popular recipe that a lot of people use. It mixes a standard layer feed with a flock raiser feed and then adds in some extras like sunflower seeds and a supplement to really boost that protein. Now for housing. Their bigger size means they just need more space. Plan on about 4 to 5 square feet of coop space per bird and at least 10 square feet in their outdoor run. And here's a crucial health tip. All those dense feathers can be a hiding place for mites and lice, so you need to check them regularly. Also, because they're so heavy, they can be prone to an infection on their feet called bumblefoot. So regular health checks are a total must. Your day-to-day routine is actually pretty simple. Of course, fresh food and water is a given. The tasks that are really specific to Orpingtons are all about managing their key traits. So in the summer, that means making sure they have tons of shade and cool water. It means checking the nesting boxes for any hen that's decided to go broody. And it means just keeping a close eye on them for any signs of limping or heat stress. All right, we've gone through their personality, their egg production, their pros, their con, and their daily care, so it's time for the bottom line. Let's put it all together and figure out if this is the right bird for you.
So who should get a Buff Orpington? Well, this chicken is absolutely for you if your number one priority is a sweet, gentle, easy-to-handle pet, especially if you're a beginner or you have kids. They are a fantastic choice for anyone living in a colder climate, and if a sweet personality is more important to you than getting the absolute maximum number of eggs, they are perfect. Now, on the flip side, you might want to think twice if you live somewhere with brutally hot summers. Also, if your only goal is maximum efficiency, getting the most eggs for the lowest possible feed cost, then there are definitely better breeds for that. And one last, really important point, their sweet, docile nature means they aren't very good at watching out for predators, so they really need a safe, secure yard. So, to really round things out, let's take a quick look at where this bird even came from. Honestly, knowing their history gives you a whole new level of appreciation for them. The whole story starts back in the late 1880s with an English coachman named William Cook. He lived in a town called Orpington, and he had this vision. He wanted to create the perfect dual-purpose chicken, a bird that was great for both laying lots of eggs and as a high-quality meat bird for the table. What's really fascinating is that the very first Orpington he made back in 1886 was actually black. Why? He wanted a bird that wouldn't show the soot and grime of industrial London. The beautiful golden buff color we all know and love today came a bit later, in 1894. And by 1902, the breed had made its way to America and was officially recognized, starting it on its path to becoming a backyard favorite all over the world. And that brings us right back to where we started. Now you know their amazing personality, you know the practical trade-offs, and you even know their history. So really, there's only one question left. Is this charming, fluffy golden retriever of the chicken world about to waddle its way into your backyard?